This is for all my stroke survivors that once they get you in the hospital, what they do to you.
They strap you down and they feed you mush peas.
That's not a bad idea.
So when you were at the first hospital, they were literally just making sure, they're basically scanning, making sure the bleed has stopped, making sure that in the beginning we were really worried that they were going to need to drill into your brain and relieve, because your bleed was so big, relieve the pressure because you're starting to get a midline shift. But when you were we'll talk about that another day. When you were at U of U and you were pretty stable, I would say, this went on for the next couple of days. They would come in and wake you up and do a neuro check every 30 minutes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they would come in and they would turn all the lights on and they would wake you up because you slept, just all the time. And they would come wake you up and they would do, it's good that they were doing it because they were making sure that you were stable, your cognition, it wasn't getting worse, and that, there was no big cognitive changes. But my memory is still pretty muddy from those first couple days also, but they would ask you questions like,
is horse bigger than a dog?
Yeah, is a horse bigger than a dog? And you would say, nope. And I was sitting there and I was like, that's negative. That's a check mark. That's wrong. You failed that one. And then they would ask you are we in 2024? And you would be like, nope, we were in 2024. They'd be like, are we in 2020? And you'd be like, yep. I don't remember, but I know you got every single question
wrong.
It was all wrong. And I was like, I was losing faith. No, I wasn't. But it was just I was getting really concerned. But at that time, we didn't know that your yeses and your nos, well, I didn't understand that your yeses and your nos were mixed up. And nobody told me, or if they did tell me, they didn't explain it in a way that I could understand.
Thoroughly.
I wish I could go back and see everything that they told me. I think that at that point, I don't even know that we were that worried about it. We were worried that your brain, there was so much volume in there that you were going to have a midline shift. So we'll have to continue that on another story.